All right, good evening, guys. This is take three. Trying a little different angle on the camera tonight and the light, and let y'all still see a little better shot of my shack. You can still see the shack gadget up there, and I still use it. Wouldn't take for that. That's been a real handy. I like having that in the shack. And Kent's got those on his website. The link will be in the description of the video. Yeah, I thought we'd talk a little bit tonight about a little bit of difference between solar activity versus solar flares. And I've been seeing a lot of comments about these solar flares lately, kind of messing up the HF bands. And try to see if I can give the new guys a little bit of an explanation of this. High solar activity is generally beneficial. Increased ionization, more sunspots, and higher solar flux indicate increased solar activity, which leads to greater ionization of the ionosphere. Improved reflection. This increased ionization enhances the reflection of radio waves off the E and F layers of the ionosphere, improving propagation for medium frequencies and high frequencies. Longer distances. During periods of solar activity, signals can travel longer due to better reflection and refraction in the atmosphere. Solar flares can be disruptive. X-ray bursts. Solar flares release intense bursts of X-rays that can reach Earth within minutes. D-layer absorption. These X-rays increase ionization in the D layer, the lowest layer of the ionosphere. Radio blackouts. Increased D-layer ionization causes increased absorption of radio waves, particularly at lower HF frequencies, leading to radio blackouts, especially on the sunlit side of the Earth. Sudden ionospheric disturbances or SIDS. Large solar flares can cause SIDS, where signals in the 2 to 30 megahertz range can disappear completely, according to the ARRL. Polar cap ionization. Polar cap absorption, PCA. High energy protons from solar flares can cause PCA events, particularly at high latitudes, leading to the absorption of HF signals and disruptions in the polar regions. In essence, while higher solar flux and sunspot numbers generally increase long distance HF propagation, solar flares can create localized disruptions, particularly at lower frequencies due to increased D-layer absorption. Now, that's kind of a bunch of big words coming out of a redneck's mouth, but in the last big solar cycle, I got in on the tail end of it in the 90s. It was wild. 10 meters was absolutely crazy. In fact, there was nights that it never did even shut down. We would be on here with Jeff and myself. We'd have people all over the U.S. checking in with us. And literally some nights the band never went out. This solar cycle now hasn't been as good as that, but it's been fairly well, and we can kind of tell the difference when we think we're probably going to have some people check in, and kind of goes into this next subject, noise floor. Had somebody asked about how to explain what noise floor is, and I'm going to try to give y'all my redneck version of noise floor. Uh, if you're on, especially on 10 meters, if you're on there at night, you look at your S meter. If it's dead zero on the S meter, and all you're hearing is this steady static. We just call that white noise or just static. That's your noise floor. You got a noise floor S0, and it's just static, and more than likely the band is dead. There's exceptions to that. I've had people check in at night when I thought the band was dead. But if you start getting a lot of activity or weather activity, you'll start hearing atmospheric noises, and you'll just start hearing all kinds of noises, and your S meter readings will go up. But that's about the easiest way I can explain it. Noise floor is just what you're hearing, and if it's a zero, then all you have is a static noise floor. You really don't have a noise. It's just a static that's there constant on the radio all the time. Sure, somebody may have a better explanation of that than I do, but that's the best I can say about it. QRZ, and I know the camera's a little far back, but they have this right here will give you the current conditions, and I've already pulled it up. And right now, daytime 10-meter band is fair, at night poor, but they're showing that lower bands is good. That's a good guide to go by, but don't let that keep you from getting on there and trying to make contacts, because I've had people from West Coast check in at nights with us when that was showing poor band conditions for 10 meters. So it's just a good guide to go by. Uh, and also, you're going to hear a lot of talk, especially when this solar cycle goes out. 10 meters is dead. Get off of 10. There's nobody on it. It's dead. Yeah, that ain't entirely true. Now, I'll admit, back in 06, when I got back into this, got this 897, 10 meters was kind of dead, but I made several DX contacts when the band was supposed to be dead. It's going to open a little bit, maybe every day. And you're always probably going to be able to hear Central South America, but I actually worked England when the band was supposed to be dead. So it's just have to get on there and call CQ and tune around and see what you can get after. One good spot to listen for 10-meter signals is 28,400. That's the national calling frequency on 10 meters. Plus, there's usually a lot of activity above 28,440 to 28,5 in the tech voice portion of the band. You can get on above that, and when the band is always open on contest weekend, you can always make contacts above 28.5 if you're licensed general class or higher, and can do that. We've had the band open so much on Friday night, the band would be so wide open, we went up as high as 28,580. Couldn't get away from the contesters. Not knocking contesters, but we're just wanting to rag chew. Everybody thinks we're in the contest because we're on the air and they all kind of breaking in, so we usually just go back to 2 meters. But just some tips on 10 meters and my take on the band propagations and things like that, because you guys are going to hear everything. But when the band starts going out, and you're going to hear everything about solar flares right now and solar activity. So that's kind of how I try to explain the differences in them. And I know I'm kind of rambling tonight, but we'll see how this new video looks up. I got a light on. Y'all let me know how the light looks here. My wife got me a ring light I'm using also the video this with. Guys, we're at 1896. We're getting closer and closer to that 2000. We'll do another giveaway. Circle 6 mail drop, Broken Circuit Ranch. Links will be in the description of my video. MRG Labs info, radio and amp repairs always at the beginning. And remember, Main Trading Company in Paris, Texas. Richard's got all kinds of sales and stuff going on. Get on his email list so you can keep up with what he's got going on at the time. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.